Alrighty, hello you guys. I'm so excited for today's topic. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome in those who are tuning in for the very first time. We appreciate you all being with us today. So today's topic, honestly, we're going to take a different turn. I know we've been going through a lot of politics, news, AI, tech, just going down the rabbit hole each and every time that we do a video. I don't want to say each and every day because we're not on each and every day, but I thought today we might switch it up a little bit and do something I think would be very fun. As many of you know, the new Spider-Man movie is coming out very, very soon. I believe it's coming out at the end of this month, if not the beginning of July. Let's confirm that real quick. It's coming out actually July 31st, 2026. And there's already a lot of, I don't want to say noise, right? But a lot of anticipation on this new film. Now, I'll be the first to say, I am embarrassingly late to the Marvel Universe. I know, guys. I know you guys are going to judge me. I'm really late in the game. But I've done my best. I've been trying to catch up, and I think by the time that the movie comes out, I'm going to be fully caught up. I'm not as behind as you may think. I have spent some time, leisure time, with getting up to speed on all the Marvel movies, because they're pretty cool. For those who may judge me, you know, to each its own. This is probably going to be more for my movie enthusiasts, for my nerd crew out there, geek crew, whatever you want to call it, anime squad, whatever. The people who are into this stuff or just like movies. I think we're all going to appreciate this one. But I have been catching up. So I thought with all the excitement and then with the new Spider-Man movie coming out, plus all the attention that Tom Holland and Zendaya as newlyweds are getting, I figured this would be a perfect time to finally jump into the conversation. Now, this isn't going to be about like just the comic books or just the movie, because respectfully, I probably just get like killed by the Marvel experts, comic book experts, because like I said, I never read the comics, so don't judge me, but I saw, let's just say, majority of the films. But neither here nor there. Instead, I want to approach this slightly differently. Of course, we're going to be reacting to the trailer, but I also want to talk about the story. I want to talk about the sacrifice, the loyalty, the love, memory, the loss, and why so many people emotionally are invested in the Peter Parker and MJ relationship. I think that's a really, at least for us women, right? Or at least for me. I can't speak for all women, but at least for me. And I think for some women out there, majority of women out there, there's a big reason why we're kind of intrigued and wanting to get into this whole Spider-Man universe, Marvel universe kind of thing. But today specifically, we're going to go over and react to the trailer, talk about the direction Marvel appears to be taking, discussing Tom Holland and Zendaya impact on the franchise, and maybe we're going to pull out some relationship lessons along the way. So before we get into today's topic, do remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and do like the video, especially if this is something that you are like super excited about. And do comment below if you're just as eager as I am for this movie release date. I feel like it could have came sooner, but we're not even gonna be mad. We'll just see what happens. But without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Okay, so first things first. Where do we even start here? You know what? Before we actually get into everything else and breaking down, I think it would be best that we start off with reacting to the trailer, because I think it will help us lay down the groundwork of the relationship between MJ and Peter Parker, the direction that Marvel's taking, and then the takeaways and kind of the impact Tom Holland and Zendaya have been having on the franchise specifically. And then we'll pull out the lessons. So let's start with the trailer. I'm so excited. I'm super excited. I didn't want to watch it until I watched it with you guys. But it's so hard to avoid certain things on social media because people play clips. But every time I did try to scroll through. So we're watching this for the full trailer for the first time right now. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I can't believe our first hit MIT. MJ, come on. Pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
I can't.
I knew it!
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. You don't remember me, but we used to know each other. Something bad was going to happen, and the only way to stop it was to make everyone forget about me. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
The hell, Frank? You just hit me with a van!
Quit your whimpering. Suit yourself. Mother.
Go home!
And sometimes Spider-Man has to do the hard thing, even if it breaks Peter Parker's heart. What is happening to me?
Oh, God.
Excuse me, Dr. Banner. I need your help.
What did you say your name was? If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
Spiders have 3 life cycles. When between cycles, it can leave the spider vulnerable to threats.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
Stay out of my way. You're losing it, kid.
And for those spiders who make it through, it amounts to a kind of rebirth.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Okay. There's so much that could be said there. There's so much that we need to unpack. I don't even know where to go because I didn't expect the trailers to be so good. I actually really like the trailer because I feel like it touches on a lot of stuff and it has some inspirations from older Spider-Man that we've seen, but it also has like this new take in this new direction. So first and foremost, obviously we have to shout out the production. We have to shout out Marvel Studios because again, it seems like they're going to deliver on another classic movie. And like I said, I don't know where to start, you guys. I think just the opening with Tom Holland pretty much being a creep, or Spider-Man Peter Parker being a creep, and like kind of looking at what like MJ and his old best friend are doing. I think it's a little bit expected, but I think the direction that took from there, because that's where things like from the previous movie, you guys haven't watched it, definitely watch it before you watch this one. From the previous movie, we know that he basically erased everyone's memory. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, and I'm sorry if I spoiled it. Just a friendly note for the rest of the video, there might be some spoilers if you are not fully caught up with the Marvel Universe. Do my best to try to warn beforehand. I know I didn't do a good job there. But anyway, so yeah, as we know, they started off with Peter erasing everyone's memory for the sake of trying to save the world, unfortunately. And that cost him his friends, his loved ones. He lost his aunt, which was the only family member tied to him, but also the Avenger connection that he had, the connection he had with Happy. So he's basically like just all on his own. And that's so heartbreaking because I actually like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Now, whether he's the best Spider-Man or not, we're not going to debate that right now. But do tell me your thoughts below on who you think the best Spider-Man is. And watch to the end because I may reveal who I think the best Spider-Man is. But anyway, we start off with Peter's just opening up with just pretty much being alone in the darker side of that life, especially now more than ever, when him not really having the support system that he had. And then seeing the love of his life, MJ, as we saw, in the arms of another man, possibly. But I like how they still gave us like glimpses and touches of the relationship between him and MJ, and you know, a little bit of where it's starting of like the unknown, and then that small glimpse of them, of Spider-Man seeing MJ. Whether she finds out that he's Spider-Man, whether she finds out the truth, we don't know. We have to wait and watch. But getting into the direction that Marvel decided to take with this, I think personally it's very different from what we've seen in other Spider-Man movies. I think there's been obviously the point of adversity that each Spider-Man takes. And I think that there was a point, especially in the first Spider-Man, he dealt with adversity, kind of went into the dark side with Spider-Man 3, got himself back together and stuff. So I think that this is Peter's biggest point of adversity personally. I think before there was a lot of like, I don't want to say trivial, but compared to this one, there's a lot of trivial adversity, like him trying to tell people, him trying to keep it a secret, him trying to join the Avengers, him trying to find out if he even wanted to be an Avenger. I think those are very minuscule because he still had a support system around him, like his Aunt May, like his friends, the love of his life, MJ. Iron Man was still alive, so Tony Stark was still alive, happy. So there was just more for him to grasp and hold on to. But now it's just him. And seeing that is pretty interesting to me, especially like when we all know the truth. Because it's just like, I feel like we're all going to be in theaters like, why don't you remember? Please remember. And then the reality is that since this is such a different storyline, we're not even going to know what to anticipate. Now, I know there may be some comic people out there. I don't want to call you guys fanatics, but experts. Some comic book experts that probably know what's going to happen. Probably it isn't a comic book. I am not one of those, you guys. I am not. And personally, I barely had the time to catch up on the movies. I'm surely not going to have the time to catch up on the comics. So I'm sorry. So I'm just going to be waiting like a normal, regular person for the movie to come out. But as far as the production, as far as the actors, I am happy that they kept a lot of the actors the same. I think we all get discouraged when we see changes, especially when it comes to main characters, from characters who are playing them originally to new characters. It seems like there are going to be some new characters involved in this, but not from like the main roles that we know. So it'll be pretty interesting to see how everything unfolds. I'm super excited for it. The other thing I want to address is also like the kind of metamorphosis that Peter is going to be undertaking, because it seems like they said, he's going through these phases, and it is kind of inspired by the first Spider-Man that happened in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, early 2000s, with him being able to like shoot webs directly from him instead of the second series of Spider-Man. And this one with them actually creating some kind of mechanism to help them with their webs or utilize webs or certain things like that. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. With this, I like how they have Dr. Banner in here, which is the Hulk, into this. And you can see that he's not the Hulk right now. So we left off on, what was it? Spoiler alert. We left off on, I think it's called Endgame. Yeah, the Endgame movie. The Avengers Endgame movie, with kind of Dr. Banner and Hulk kind of merging as one. So I'm interested to see maybe if they'll address it in this movie, maybe they won't. But I'm excited for it. I think there's so much we can dive into, so much we can comment on. I think the biggest thing for me is the biggest three things, biggest three takeaways for me is, obviously, number one, I want to see how the relationship between him and MJ develops, and if anyone gets their memory back. I'm really interested in that one. Number two, I'm interested to see how the inspiration of the first Spider-Man will impact and navigate the storyline for this Spider-Man Brand New Day. And then the third thing, I would like to see if there's any more Avengers, or if it's just Dr. Banner, and if there is, or if it's just Dr. Banner, how they're incorporated into the movies, and how these new characters that are going to be, whether playing villains or supporting Peter, I wonder how that's going to go, how everything's going to unfold. There might be other things that people are interested in. I'm not going over everything. This is just me personally, what I think. But I'm really excited for it. So I am very, very satisfied with the trailer. I definitely going to have to watch it with my brothers. We're going to have to spend like a movie day. My sister might come. Who knows? Whoever wants to come, text me. I want to go. So I think we should all go together. I think we should make a big deal out of this. Especially because in my household growing up, my brothers were obsessed with Marvel. To be honest, I think almost most of the guys that I knew liked Marvel. Whether, they were low-key liking Marvel, like they were in like super big fanatics, but they'll definitely go and watch it and enjoy it, or they were big fanatics, like they were big like Marvel people. And I know some DC guys that I don't want to say transitioned into the Marvel universe, but they could appreciate it. Right? I don't want to speak for anyone. I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, so I'm interested to know you guys' thoughts, if you think that this is going to be as good as they're hyping it up to be, if you're just as happy and anticipated for it. And then what are your major, like your 3 big takeaways, or what you want to see coming out of this movie, or what you're looking forward to. But before we close out, we need to talk about Tom Holland and Zendaya's relationship and the impact that it has on the franchise. Because I personally think, and some people may disagree with me, I think their personal relationship definitely has a big impact on the franchise itself. Because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, for my Zendaya, Tom Holland experts, whatever you want to call them, whatever you guys going to call yourselves, I'm sorry, I don't know the actual name, but enthusiasts, we can say, it seems like their relationship developed, it's kind of like when the movie was developing, it seems like they were friends, they obviously became more familiar and started dating. They keep a lot of their life private, but I think the general audience can gauge that a lot of how MJ and Tom's relationship in the movie, Peter and MJ's relationship in the movie developed, there behind the scenes, Zendaya and Tom's relationship was developing. And it's so cute to see how they started off when they were just like young kids, like early teens, early 20s, developing this movie and becoming friends, and then dating, building the relationship to be something serious, and them hiding it from us the whole entire time, even though we can see with Tom, like Zendaya, I think that she was a little bit more discreet. But Tom, I feel like there was like no, like he was just like, if it was up to me, the world would know, but they wouldn't know about our business. And I think that's kind of how they are now. But I think in the beginning, Zendaya was a lot more like discreet versus Tom. Like Tom, the way that he looked at her, the way that he respected her, even in small ways. Even Zendaya, the way that she respected him, whether if it was on the red carpet, whether if it's with, even as small as, I know there's a lot of videos with like she's not letting men to hold her hand and stuff like that, which I love and appreciate. But just those little small glimpses and little small moments. And I'm debating, like, should I play a video on highlighting Tom and Zendaya's relationship? Because I don't want to like beat on a dead horse, but I think they have pretty cute moments that we can appreciate, right? Let's see if we can find something real quick. I wasn't planning to play this, but I'm thinking for those who may not actually like know their relationship, I think it's good for us, for me to just play something so you could get a general gist of like what we're talking about here, for the people who do know, shed some light on the people who may not know. But you know what, this one, I think this one will be a good one. I just don't want to play something like super long. Okay, so excuse me guys, I know that it might have like seemed like I skipped forward. I just had to find like my favorite Zendaya moments, and mind you, we're playing shorts here because there is not like a 2-minute video of people just highlighting their relationship, which is fine. It's like 9-10 minutes, which I'm not trying to have you guys here. I'm just trying to give you guys the general gist of the Tom Holland Zendaya hype. And this is not me idolizing them. I just want to be very clear. I just want to give you guys like a foundation for those who may not be tracking. So let's start with, we'll do this one. Here we go. Okay, so we're gonna start with this one because this is like the closest thing that I can get to an actual timeline, and then I'm gonna share with you guys like my little favorite moments that have been happening between them that I've seen online I think they're pretty cute. But let's start with this one.
We go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us, like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night, we'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us.
crazy how they started picturing themselves together in 2016. Oh my gosh, it's almost 10 years, guys. I feel like that's very cute. Like finding your sweetheart at a young age and just sticking with them, and then like truly like finding your true love. Those are one of the best stories, right? But let's move on to another few highlights before I give my general thoughts and then close you guys out, because we've been moving on, harping on this topic for a little while. So let's do this premiere with Tom and Zendaya, because I think it's pretty cute, and I think, you know, he's just trying to be a little gentleman, and I think this is something that's played over and over again, we've seen, but I think it's cute because obviously he's on his protector vibes, which we love. We love the protector vibes. We can't get enough of them. We love the gentleman vibes, and I think this does a great job with, even if it's a small little moment, we appreciate the small little moments. So here we go.
I can't stop and look the other way, 'cause I know it could be, babe, and you never felt the same.
That was cute. That was so cute. And excuse me for the music. I just picked what. I just tried to do this really quickly, guys, because I wasn't anticipating this. But now, let's go to this one. This is one of my favorite. We're going to go to this one. This is definitely one of my favorite moments, because this is like the yearning that we ladies are missing here in this world. And Tom just, if there was a moment outside of film in real life where you can see actual love and a man yearning for a woman and appreciating that moment that he's having with her in love, this would be it. This would be it right here. So let's play this real quick.
I think Zendaya just showed up. Zendaya just showed up. She's there. That's her. No, that's her. I want to see what she has on. Can we watch? Is she going to walk down here? It's her. Let's watch. That's definitely Zendaya.
You could see, like, in his face, the look of just, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. I love it. I personally love it. Adding on to that, let's do this one more. Let's do one more. Before I get to like my favorite one of all time, let's do this one right here, because I think it's pretty cute.
There she is, looking beautiful, might I add. As ever. Yeah, absolutely. Last few years. So hello. So
I love that. I love the little small pause that he had to take just to take in the beauty. I love it so much. You guys know I'm a hopeless romantic. So for those who may have logged off because this is like, okay, she's getting to all the girl stuff, I'm going to wind it back in. Just hold off with me, because we're trying to highlight love and the impact of their relationship towards the franchise. So last but not least, and this was not coincidental because whatever. Let me play it and then we'll get into it. This moment right here, I think we all can agree was it for us. At least us ladies, right? As ladies, we were just like, yes, Tom. Yes, Tom, we appreciate you holding down our girl. Matter of fact, I don't want to ruin too much, so let's get into it real quick.
It's okay, Tom.
Tom was not, excuse me guys, Tom was not playing about his at all, and we love it. We love these protector vibes. We love it. Like, no, you're not, like, you guys need to back away from my girl. I don't care if she's a massive celebrity. I don't care that she's widely known. I don't care if you want her autograph. I don't care if you want her picture. Back up. We're here to have dinner. You're too close. And we love it. We love it. And I want to highlight these moments to you guys, whether if it's I know the one that I did with Candace and George. You guys absolutely love that one. And obviously we had to do one with Tom and Zendaya, because you guys see the love that he has for her and the nature that comes from a man when he's in love, of being protective, of like admiring and respecting the relationship and the woman that he's with. It is not highlighted enough in today's society. There's so much wars on men versus women, and there's not enough emphasis on love in general. And I love to see something that I think is genuine true love. Now, are we idolizing these people? Absolutely not. We're taking a moment that is so precious, and just emphasizing and taking hope and inspiration for those out there who want love. And I would encourage you guys to do that. Encourage you guys to know that as long as you're patient, as long as you let timing do what it needs to do, and you take the time for yourself to build yourself for the person who can love you like this, man or woman, it's gonna happen, you guys. It's gonna happen. But we appreciate Tom holding our girl down during that time. I absolutely love to see it. But I know I went on a little bit of a ramble. So bringing it back to why I think the relationship impacts the franchise so much is because look at it. Not only do we get the love on screen, we get the love off screen. And I think, especially like if you grew up in the early 2000s, early 90s, there is nothing better than a good on-screen, off-screen relationship. We had that with several people, and I think there were some real ones, very few real ones. I think there was a lot of things that were, set up to be a certain way. But when you have genuine ones like this, they can absolutely make the movie just as much, because you know that there's real, genuine feelings coming from the people who are playing these characters. And personally, I feel like their relationship brought women over to want to see like what this Spider-Man movie is about. And I'm hoping like later down the line they don't just kill our vibes and the like time passes, they get a divorce and it was never real to begin with. That's gonna break my heart. I don't think that's the case, because I think that since they were so young, and just the enthusiasm that Tom has for Zendaya, like he locked in that early. He was not playing any games, and you can see like with the little clips that they show during press tours, during red carpets, that he was very respectful of her and she was very respectful of him. And the fact that they keep the details of their relationship, they don't keep their relationship private, but they keep the details of the relationship private. I think they're trying to give themselves a fair chance to have a successful marriage and family and future while being in Hollywood, and I respect that. But overall, I think that the movie is incredibly promising. I dare say, and if I have to come back here and apologize to you guys, I will, but I have some faith. I am very optimistic for it. What stands out to me isn't necessarily the action sequences, even though they look pretty cool. Or it's not even the Marvel storyline itself. It's the emotional weight behind it. The idea of loving someone who no longer remembers you, the idea of sacrificing something important for the people you care about, the idea of continuing to move forward even when life doesn't unfold the way you hoped it would. Those are real things that I think will resonate beyond a superhero movie. And maybe that is why so many people are connected with Spider-Man, specifically with this new movie that's coming out. Because beneath the mask, he's just someone who's trying to do the right thing while navigating life, relationships, responsibility, heartbreak, and hope. As for Tom and Zendaya, though, I think people are drawn to them because they represent something that feels incredibly rare. Friendship, partnership, patience, and building something over time. Not perfectly, right? Because nothing's perfect. Not like in some weird fantasy, even though like a lot of the glitz and glamour are connected to them being in Hollywood. But just honestly, like two people genuinely choosing each other. And while none of us should idolize celebrities, I do think it's okay to be like encouraged by examples of like commitment, love, and companionship when you see them. So my lesson and biggest takeaway for you guys from this: if you're still waiting for your person, keep working on yourself. Keep growing, keep building the life that you could be proud of, a life that you want. Don't rush, don't settle, don't force something that isn't meant for you. Love has a funny way of finding you when you're so busy becoming the person that you're supposed to be. And I think that you'll be surprised how God and time probably work on your favor. And I think it's important that I want to emphasize the reason why I say don't rush and don't settle. I'm not saying that, be delusional with who you want to be, man or woman, right? Who you want to be with, man or woman. I think be practical, right? Be realistic, but know like when I say don't settle, I'm more so thinking about the feeling, not necessarily the person individually. Obviously, you want to measure that you can grow with this person and be with this person long terms that align with your values and the direction that you want to go with your family. But I also think it's equally important to, the same way how we evaluate if this person aligns with our morals and our values, that we also evaluate, can I see myself being with this person? Do I even feel for this person? Because I think there's a lot of broken marriages, relationships, families that are built on the foundation of just value setting, and there's no actual love attached to the relationship. And you see that with people's children, you see that with their future, you see that with their outcome. I know some people are going to say, hey, you can learn to love someone and so on and so forth, and I'm not judging it, right? To each its own. But what I will say is that I ideally would want people to get into marriages being able to obtain both, especially when it comes to love, because love does conquer a multitude of opportunities, of sins, and you can grow and adapt with someone. But it's very, very hard, especially if there was an initial feelings there, to actually grow love. I think you can grow admiration. I think that you can grow respect. And I think you can grow to like someone, but it's very hard to actually grow to be in love with someone. Separating actual loving someone with being in love with someone. But that's just my 2 cents. To each its own. You're going to have a different view and a different way of wanting to go about your relationship and your future based off of your personal values, based off of your personal mindsets, based off of how you think, based off of how you feel as an individual. We all have our own emotional clock, our own mental compass that guides us through life. I'm just giving you guys mine because I want you guys to have the lovey-dovey romance things in life, because I just personally am a helpless romantic and a love enthusiast, and I just love to see love in different shapes, different ways, shapes, and forms, whether if it's romantic love like this, whether if it's love from your family or showing love to a friend. I think that if we showed more love, our world wouldn't be as dark and twisted as it is today. And I think that if a lot of more families were built on love, not just on sustainability and values, I think those 3 things collectively are what make strong, healthy, loving households that later make strong, healthy, loving families. And it's very important for children to have that, to have the stability, to have the values, to have the guidance forward, but also have the love from your parents, but also see the love between your parents, because one day they're going to be searching for their special person. But those are just my thoughts. I know I said a little bit of a lot, and I went a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but I did want to show you guys the highlights between Tom and Zendaya, because I think there's the girls that know, maybe there's some girls that know, but I know that there's a lot of guys that are not caught up in that, so I just wanted to break that down real quick. But let me know what you think. Are you excited for the new Spider-Man movie? Do you think Peter and MJ are gonna have their happily ever after? Or definitely drop a comment below on what your biggest desires or takeaways would be from this movie. But I'd love to know you guys' thoughts. But that's all I have for today. So do remember that we drop content every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And do remember that we're planning to do a double feature Friday. I was going to do a double feature today. Maybe I still will. We'll see. It just depends. I have so much stuff to do on my schedule because I wanted to get into a little bit of like political noise that has been going on specifically since yesterday that I think I want to weigh in on, but we'll see. But we are definitely doing a double feature Friday, and this is just the start. For those who may not have known, I was thinking about doing a series just on relationships and love and appreciation, and kind of like highlighting whether if it's in movies, whether if it's in real relationships, or in other ways, how we can appreciate love and bringing you guys back to the nature and building the desire to go out there and find your special person and build yourself for them as well. But you'll just have to wait and see what that series looks like. I think this gave you guys a little bit of a snippet of what that's going to be. But again, that's all I have for today. So do remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and do like the video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. So bye.